We warned you, didn't we? One-way ticket back to your own town. We don't want your kind in our city, Pellin.
You're crazy! All of you! We're perfectly legal. When the police hear about this...
Their teeth have been drawn when it comes to dealing with filth like you. But us, we've still got all our teeth. And we bite. Most of us have got wives and kids. We want them to grow up in a clean city. That's why we're getting rid of dirt like you.
You're running me out.
And before we get rid of you, we're going to give you a taste of what's waiting for you if ever you come back here again. Turn him.
Ah, Inspector Chives. Glad to see that disgusting organization has decided to pack up and leave.
Yes, sir. Our city smells a bit cleaner this morning. We won't be seeing Mr. Pellin here again.
All right, what's it all about you've been telling me, what?
Thomas Henry Pellin.
Yes. And you're Cowley, George Cowley.
And if I wasn't, you might have made it.
Look, man, I've got...
Eyes my backside. Now, what's this all about?
I had to see you, talk to you. I felt I could trust you.
Trust me?
I've read about you, about CI5, incorruptible.
What the devil are you talking about?
Madness, power, illegal enforcement. You're pretty good.
You're lucky. A few years ago, I'd have broken your arm.
You've mellowed.
My place is on the first floor. Come on, pick that up. No, you go first. I haven't mellowed as much as that.
I've just come back from there. I know. You can go right through that city, even the suburbs. There isn't a porno magazine in sight.
I can't say I've got feelings about that either way.
But not just porn. Not even a girly magazine. Nothing. I'm like you, it doesn't bother me either way.
Then why have
That's
you come...
just the tip of the iceberg. Mr. Cowley, I'm secretary of the Gay Youth Organization. I'm not a homosexual myself, but many of my friends are. And I've seen them suffer through bigotry and ignorance. 2 weeks ago, we opened a branch in that city. Just a place where homosexuals could go to find friendship and sympathy. It was stopped before it even started.
Stopped?
We'd heard whispers about a citizens' committee, vigilantes. That's usual. That happens in every town. But what happened in that town? They ran us out. Our center was wrecked.
Who?
A gang of thugs, masked.
Well, unfortunately, that kind of thing can happen. You can't blame a whole city just because
I reported it to the police. I told them I had no intention of leaving. They listened, made the usual noises about making inquiries. Then the thugs came back. This time, they gave me a taste.
A taste?
A taste of what would happen to me if I didn't leave town that night.
My God. What did the police say about that?
I didn't tell them. I was alone in the center at the time. To all intents and purposes, it was closed up. Nobody knew I was there. Nobody knew I intended staying on. Except the police. Now, I didn't tell the police, Mr. Cowley, because I had the terrible feeling that they already knew.
The mountain comes to Mohammed.
That's good of you to see me, sir.
Oh, I'm curious. Why this sudden interest in a local police force?
Local. They control one of the biggest cities in the country. You didn't go directly to source? No, of course not.
I didn't need to go to source, George. This is one police force the Home Office is acutely aware of at this time.
Why?
The example they set. Just 3 years since Green took over.
Green.
Jerry Green, the chief constable, began as a very new broom indeed, and still sweeping exceedingly clean.
Impressive, eh?
Amazing. In those 3 years, he's reduced the crime rate by 22%. Arrests and convictions,
22%, that's unheard of.
unequaled according to our records. Green runs a very tight ship, George.
So did Captain Bligh.
Eh? George, we're not thinking of rocking that ship in any way, are we?
I don't know.
George?
Do you trust me?
Totally, utterly, implicitly. Up to a point.
Not a whisper outside this office. No interdepartmental communications. I want permission to nose around Green's well-policed city for a wee while.
You're not going to tell me why, of course.
Not at the moment, no. Do I have your permission?
Very well.
Good. I'm glad you've agreed, because I've got Doyle and Bodie up there already.
Just down there used to be this old cinema. Right flea pit. I used to borrow my dad's overcoat and turn up the collar, lower my voice, and get in to see the X movies.
It's not your hometown. I thought you came from Derby.
Yeah, I do. It's, well, I went to school here for a bit anyway. It's changed.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
This round the back, see down there, past there, down the back, there used to be this old dance hall. And there was this fantastic blonde. And, no, Annette, her name was. She was the first.
Oh, look out.
Anything wrong?
You're parked in a no parking area, sir. You're pulled into the curbside, your wheels have stopped rotating. That is the definition of parking, sir. Of course, if you would rather, I gave you a ticket.
No, we're on our way. Goodbye.
Stupid, jumped up, but
We're here to listen and observe.
I don't like arrogant coppers.
Now, this football match on Saturday. If there's trouble like last time...
Well, there's bound to be that, sir. The visiting supporters have got a reputation for it. They haven't been in this city before, sir.
The match is being televised. I don't want any accusations of police brutality against my force.
Well, that's why I've cut the uniform men down to the bone, sir. My boys, my special boys, will be in plain clothes. You won't be able to tell them from the thugs.
I won't have them generating trouble.
Stopping it before it escalates, sir. It's a nice modern media word, isn't it, sir? Escalates. They'll be mingling with the crowd, part of it, and ready. Anyone steps out of line and my boys will have him out of the stadium, into a wagon and away. All very discreet.
Well, you seem to have everything under control, Chives. Right, I leave it to you.
Thank you, sir.
You get the authority you wanted?
He's leaving it to me. It's authority enough, isn't it?
Courts will be full on Monday, then?
Only if we charge them, and I wasn't thinking of charging them. Be a waste of public funds, wouldn't it? No, we'll pull in the troublemakers, maybe give them a talking to while they're in the cells, and then in the early hours of the morning we'll take them way outside the city and release them.
Early hours of the morning?
Long after the last train's gone. It'll be cold, and if we're lucky, it'll be raining too.
They'll have a long hike ahead of them as well. Huh?
Better than that. They'll know we mean business.
Right.
Raymond Doyle, London. Sorry, but I need your full address.
Why, are you thinking of writing to him, sweetheart?
I'm thinking of the police check.
Hey.
Very strict. They go through the register once a week. Sometimes every day in some districts. Room's just up the stairs and on the right.
I'm not used to sharing, you know. Supposed to be the fella. Nothing less than 5 star.
Well, not on this assignment. Remember what Calder said? Keep a low profile.
Oh, well, I suppose it could have been worse. Could have been near a railway.
It's a bad dream.
Wake me up when it's over, will you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's weird, you know.
Hey?
That clerk downstairs. And the police checking the register.
Yeah, it's like Germany or somewhere.
Well, it's not much like England, is it?
Do you reckon Cowley really is onto something?
A very well-policed city with a crime rate down 22%, yes, I do.
Yeah, but at what price, though, eh? What price?
Let's go and find out, shall we? Let's go and have a look at the town.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look at one of those places where the police check the register every day. I don't much like going without that, do you?
Not me.
And remember, if anyone asks, you're fully paid up members.
Keep the change. Who's going to ask?
You never know these days. You never know.
Villains.
Eh?
Best place to hang out for villains on. Smell 'em a mile.
Villains, maybe, but not being very villainous.
Terry,
Hello, Sal.
I can't serve you. They'll close me down. I'll lose my license if they find you here. They've warned me.
Just one beer, Sal. For old time's sake. Look, I'm just out after a 2-year stretch.
All right, but then you've got to go.
Wasn't planning on staying. I can't. All I came in for was to touch you for loan, Sal. A 20. I need it for train fare.
You're leaving town, then?
Got to, haven't I? They warned me, too. Thanks, Sal. I'll never forget this.
The best thanks that you can give me is to drink up and get out of here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Al. Heard you were going to the station. Yes, right away. I've got my fare. I'm leaving.
Then allow us to give you a lift.
You're not cops, then?
Who says?
You are cops.
Who says? We're thinking of moving in on this town.
Moving in?
Yeah, you know, setting up our own little business.
You want to know the strength of the opposition? It's worth 20. 20?
20.
Forget it.
Hey?
You want advice? That's it. Forget it. This town's sewn up tight. Why do you think I'm leaving in such a hurry? Why are you? Because of the cops.
And if you don't leave, what happens?
I've just done a 2-year stretch. That's what happens.
Oh, I see. You were framed, were you?
In Solid Oak. Mind you, I was lucky. Not like Henry or Carson or poor old Jimmy Flynn. He took the biggest fall.
Who's Flynn?
A man who was going straight. They knew it. We all knew it, but...
Where is he now?
Doing a life sentence.
Where?
Right here. Proud of its prison, this city. Thanks for the lift. Now you go and set up somewhere else. You've got no chance here. No chance. Got to go.
Well? You saw Flynn, what happened?
You made it sound pretty convincing.
Framed?
Well, most of the evidence was circumstantial. Local art boy got himself murdered. They didn't have a lead for weeks, you know, usual story. Then they found out that Flynn used to work for him. Suddenly all the evidence points to him.
And why should they do that?
Well, Flynn had an answer for that, too. We don't like unsolved crimes in this city.
They're called Cowley.
It's the turn of Mohammed to come to the mountain.
Thank you.
Developments?
The faintest whiff of something nasty. I want to lean on your brilliant legal record.
Oh, a long time ago, George.
But you can still read between the judicial lines, I hope. Now, first, the case of a man named Flynn. Lots of circumstantial evidence. And then half a dozen trial transcripts selected at random. Cases that ended in a conviction for Green's police force.
The Home Secretary wouldn't like that, George. Green's police force. You make it sound like a private concern.
Yes.
George.
I'm making no accusations, but Doyle and Bodie are still in that city checking.
Terrific. 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 Right. It's back to my place, and we'll celebrate some more. Hey, the fuzz in this town take a personal interest, don't they? Oh, I like that. I like it. Know how to make a stranger feel at home. Now, where's that car of mine, Oh, no. Not driving. Responsible citizen I am. So responsible, I'm gonna lock it up in case it gets stolen. Wouldn't want to add to the crime rate. Should lock the car and take a taxi. Taxi! Here you go. You wait here. Just gonna lock the car. Even with all these lovely coppers about. Just going to lock my car.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I have reason to believe that you've been drinking. And as you're in charge of a car, I must ask you to take a breath test.
Oh, come on.
You're refusing to take the test, sir?
Refusing? Of course I'm damn well refusing. In charge of a car. I'm locking it, that's all. Locking it.
If he refuses the test, you're empowered to arrest him, Constable.
Look. I got a taxi waiting. You know that. I told you, just going to lock my car.
Sir?
Oh, look. What is this, huh? Huh?
Damaging police property. Arrest him, Constable.
Arrest me, nothing.
Resisting arrest, this officer requires assistance.
That's enough, isn't it? The minimum amount of force to overcome resistance. I don't see him resisting anymore.
Oh, you're some kind of lawyer, are you?
I know my rights.
Do you? Edwards!
Sir?
Isn't this the man we want for that break-in in South Street last Wednesday?
Looks very much like him, sir.
Yes, very like him. I think we should take him in for questioning.
That's not possible. Last Wednesday, weren't even in this town last Wednesday. And I can prove it. One of those regrettable cases of mistaken identity.
What's your name? I know my rights, too. Loitering in a car park, perhaps with intent to steal. Name?
Doyle.
And you?
Bodine.
Address?
We're both staying at the Star Hotel in Beak Street.
You're not from this area, eh?
Fortunately.
Edwards! Edwards! Those two jokers outside the club.
Yes, sir?
They're staying at the Star Hotel. They looked at me with dumb insolence, Edwards. I don't like them, either of them. They're not the kind of person the chief would want in this city.
No, sir.
So we mount a small special, eh? Tomorrow.
I can hold my liquor, George. It won't colour my judgment. I know. And it's my liquor. Nothing conclusive. Couldn't agree more. What? If you take each case on its merit, nothing at all. But if you look at all six overall, very heavy on circumstantial evidence, convenient circumstantial evidence.
George.
Stolen goods found in the basement, drugs found in coat pockets, offensive weapons in the boot of a car.
George.
I know I'm stirring up muddy waters, William,
George.
but...
I was just going to ask if I might have some water. We have nothing to go on but conjecture and rumour.
And my instincts.
Unfortunately, George, I cannot put your instincts on paper. I cannot present them as lucid arguments. Facts. Bring me facts, George. Can you do that?
Maybe. Doyle and Bodie are still up there.
Control of the football hooligans. Very commendable.
Said it would work, sir. The word will get around. This isn't a city to take liberties with.
Or in. Anything else?
No, sir. Oh, yes. A couple of undesirables. Villains, I'd say.
Anything solid against them?
No, sir, but my instincts tell me they might be trouble.
I like instincts, Chives. They can't be put on paper. And desirables, eh? I don't want them in my town, Inspector.
No, sir.
I reckon we got enough last night, don't you? The police procedure.
Stinks, yeah, I know. There could have been just one isolated incident, one heavy copper.
What about Flynn? He was framed.
He says he was framed.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Ray, let's go home. I like home. I miss it. I've got near and dear ones at home. And there's this one particular redhead.
She'll keep.
Oh, well, if you think so. Actually, I was thinking of giving you her number, but...
Oh, really?
Oh, now about it.
Oh, bloody hell.
Morning, sir. Turn the engine up, please, sir. I have to inform you that we've been travelling behind you for 3/10 of a mile, and during that time your speed varied between 32 and 36 miles an hour. This is a 30-mile-an-hour limit.
36? Come on.
I'm sorry, we're talking.
I see your license and insurance, please, sir.
Yes, I've got them inside.
You'll be reported for the question to be considered of prosecuting you for exceeding a speed limit.
Thank you.
Thanks for nothing.
Just cool it, buddy.
Cool it.
Well, maybe I was speeding.
Yeah? Pulled in by a cop that was outside the club last night.
You sure?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
Oh, no.
Oh. See? Need any more convincing? We're being put on the rack.
Good morning, sir. We just saw you go through a red light.
The red light? What are you talking about? It was green.
My partner and I saw you, sir. Prepared to swear to it. Can I see your license and insurance, please?
I've just shown them to you.
I'd like to double-check, sir.
Cool it, Ray.
You'll be reported
Yeah,
for
the question to be considered. Don't bother with the speech, you've heard it.
Drive more carefully in future if I were you, sir. You see, this is a clean town. Safe. And we're proud of that. In fact, I would suggest that if you don't feel able to measure up to our very high standards, you should leave town, sir. As soon as possible, sir.
Tell me some more about this redhead.
Home?
I think it's telling me right now.
How, George? Tell me how. How do I present these facts? I accept what you've told me. You've done a splendid job. But what have they told me? A city sewn up tight, but safely. A city where hooligans are kept in check and suspicious characters are forced to move on. For God's sake, George, to most law-abiding citizens, it sounds like utopia.
Ah, that's what they thought about Hitler's Germany.
Green's done a wonderful job.
Because he's slamming doors on porn and hoodlums and anyone who doesn't measure up to his particular standards.
And what's wrong?
Suppose his standards change. Suppose he suddenly clamps down on those who don't go along with his politics, or ethnic groups, or people who grow their hair below the plimsoll line, or anyone who doesn't measure up in his opinion. Unbridled power. That's the thing I've been fighting all my life. It starts wars and it hurts people and it's damn bloody dangerous. I can go over your head, William. I can, but I don't want to.
Evidence. Bring me facts, George. Something solid. Irrefutable. I can't have you going over my head, George. Then you'd really think you were God.
Irrefutable. Meticulous detail.
Yes?
Got a call here from someone named Pellin.
Helen. Put him through. Inspector Chives here. Can I help you, sir?
My name is Pellin. Thomas Pellin.
Pellin?
I'm secretary of the Gay Youth Organization.
Yes, Mr. Pellin, I recall.
Then you may also recall that I had some trouble in your city recently.
What's the problem?
I'm going to try again. I'm coming back to reopen a branch of my organization.
I see.
And in view of what happened previously, I'd like some police protection.
We'll do our best, sir.
Thank you.
When do you intend returning, sir?
My colleague should be arriving on Thursday.
And where?
We're opening offices at 36 Canal Street.
We'll do our best, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Pellin. So, nobody outside this room knows of Mr. Pellin's intentions.
Except their police.
You get back there. I'll make my way there tomorrow. Know thine enemy. One of my favorite cliches. I want to know Gerald Green.
Mr. Cowley.
Mr. Green?
A genuine pleasure. Do sit down.
Thank you.
The car's on time, I hope?
To meet me at the station, yes. But the route here, I suspect he came the long way through the park on your instructions?
They said I couldn't hide anything from you. A small conceit. I'm very proud of that park, Mr. Cowley. A few years ago, no woman could walk there, no honest citizen.
I thought the grass needed cutting.
The grass? Oh, yeah, very good, yes.
You didn't have to send a car. My visit here is quite unofficial and informal.
They told me that old habits die hard, the old courtesies, esprit de corps.
Oh, yes. Which service were you in?
None.
Oh?
An occasional touch of blood pressure kept me out of active service, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Still, you've more than compensated for it since then.
Oh, even from here, news travels to London, does it? Well, I hope so, Mr. Cowley. I hope I've done a good job here.
Unique.
Oh, coming from you, that is high praise. Now then, will you have something to drink?
Well, I wouldn't say no to a wee drop of
tea, coffee. We have decaffeinated, if you prefer. Diane, will you come in here for a moment, please?
Oh,
It's us again.
I have to go now. Bye.
We got lucky you had to come back. Aren't you pleased to see us? I think she is pleased, you know. She's just too frightened of becoming emotional.
Sign in, please.
Certainly.
Your full home address.
Well, we're not itinerants, you know. I mean, it doesn't change from day to day. Forget it.
Full address, please. The regulations.
Oh, the regulations.
The regulations. Oh, can we have the same room, please? It's just that my friend here does a spot of painting and he finds the view inspiring.
And the doctor says it's doing his fractured eyelash so much good.
You know, the tourist board ought to hear about you.
George, I hope you don't mind me calling you George. After all, I feel we are close colleagues, under the skin.
Not at all, Mr. Green.
George, an informal visit. I know how busy you are.
It was inevitable I'd drop by sooner or later. Your force's record of arrests.
Oh, not just arrests. Arrest is impotent without a conviction.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Oh, not at all. Come in, come in. Never stop a good copper from working. Chives, this is George Cowley, CI5. Inspector Chives.
Sir?
The inspector's one of my very best men.
Not quite good enough, though. You probably don't remember, sir, but when you first started CI5, I wrote to you, sir. Applied to join you. Sent you my record and everything. I don't suppose you ever saw it.
Perhaps I did. We were, still are, a very small unit. And very selective. Not room for every man.
Not even the best?
Just the reports, sir, on the Gay Youth Organisation.
I thought they decided not to set up here.
Apparently they've changed their mind. Opening up again. Offices in Canal Street.
Well, it's not for us to judge the foibles of human behaviour, just so long as they respect my law. I leave it to you, Chives.
Yes, sir.
I think we've got a nibble.
Cooking on a budget. Postnatal depression.
That's right, not a word, not a poster, nothing about gay youth.
Oh, that's a relief. My image remains untarnished. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Oh,
Well, George, I've given you the grand tour. What do you think of my city? The air could be sweeter, perhaps, but the streets couldn't be safer.
Your city? Your city, your law. You take a very personal stand.
Paternal pride. Anyway, isn't that what's needed these days? Personal morality? We see all around us a continual decline in standards, and yet... My city? Yes, I try to put my stamp on it. But big as it is, it's only a small part of this fine, proud country. A small part I can influence. Oh, but that's nothing compared to you, George. East, west, right across the campus is your responsibility. I envy you.
Envy?
Your influence, the whole country.
The thought of that doesn't intimidate you?
Intimidate? It excites, George. It excites me to have everything in my palm.
Well, that's something we should talk about sometime later. Now, you mentioned dinner.
Nobody here. Well, they haven't moved in yet. Never mind. You can come back tomorrow.
Yours! Ah!
Oh, kids. Two very pretty girls.
Yes, and they wear me out. But I love them.
Yes, I know you do. Remember those old films, Green, when we were both kids? The goodies wore white hats, the baddies wore black. Never a grey. Not once a grey. They didn't prepare us for what life was really about, did they?
I don't understand.
If you had my job, Green, where would you start?
Start?
Yes. When you took over this city, you were a new broom. What about my job? Where would you start sweeping?
I was right, wasn't I, George? Oh, nobody would want to see you go, but pressures do take their toll. I am a younger man than you. I have proved my worth. This isn't an unofficial visit, is it, George? Oh, no, don't bother to answer that. How could you? But, I have been aware of being watched. If I had your job, well, I'd take your lead, maybe tighten up a bit. And I think, I hope you don't mind my saying so, I think sometimes you tolerate too much informality. And I also think that you don't always use all the powers of your department to the full. You can cut through the red tape, George. You don't always have to do what is officially right, but right as you see it. Right as I see it. Oh, I expect there are others in line. There must be. But you are here to watch me, aren't you, George?
Aye.
Hello, darling. Last time your mob moved into our town, they were warned. But not severely enough, it seems. Well, we'll just have to warn you all over again, won't we?
Doyle. CI5. That's Bodie.
Also CI5.
Well, let's have a look at their faces.
Pleasure. Okay, the rest of you.
Come on, move it! That's nice. Now, what's the birdie? Lovely. Thank you. Now, you three. Move in. Come on.
Okay, right turn. Face the wall. Let's find out who you really are. Well, well, well. Detective Sergeant Reed of the local constabulary. Would you believe that?
Detective Constable Turner.
And another detective. Constable. Well, surprise, surprise. They're old coppers.
Yeah. Who set this up? Who ordered it?
No one. Had a few drinks, you see. Thought we'd have a bit of fun.
Fun?
Yeah. It's no one's idea. Just happened. We're off duty, see.
Oh, I see. They're off duty. Detective Sergeant Reed, K Division. K Division, can I speak to Detective Sergeant Reed, please? Is he on duty?
Yes, but he's out on a special assignment.
Oh, I see. Well, just a minute. What about, Detective Constable Turner? Is he there?
He's on the same assignment as Reed. Can I take a message? Who is this?
Thank you. Well, we could check them all, but it'll be the same story, won't it? You're on special assignment. Look.
All right, you can go. What? Well, we got what we want, haven't we? I'm tired of looking at your face, so just get out. You heard. Go on.
You'll be hearing from us.
Darling.
CI5.
We've been done. Sunk.
They got pictures, you said?
They got everything. I tell you, we're finished.
No, they got evidence backed by their testimony. They won't present it here, will they? They'll leave town and take it back to their own HQ. Suppose they never leave town. You want to spend a few years in prison? Is that what you want, Sergeant? You know what they do to our kind in prison? They decide to call in. Get me the security chief of the main switchboard, and we'll handle it as a security operation. APB, all units. Be on the lookout for 2 men masquerading as CI5 agents. They're armed and dangerous. Issue handguns.
It won't work. Look, I tell you, this is a planned operation.
Well, be a stink, I know, but without those 2 to back it up. We'll have to resign, yes, but at least we won't end up in a prison cell.
Supposing
Look, we'll attend to the minute details later. First thing is to sew this city up and find them. Ah, yes, Inspector Chives here. We have a security emergency on our hands, and I need your cooperation.
That's it.
Better check in. Tell them we're on our way. Ray.
All lines to London are engaged.
Move.
Please replace your receiver and try again later.
Charlie Victor 3, we are in pursuit of subjects along Cannon Way.
Charlie Victor 5, I'm on my way to intercept. Charlie Victor 5 to control. Charlie Victor 5 to control. The old gasworks, Venton Street.
We have reason to believe that the suspects are within the premises. And if they are, we have them trapped.
This is D98. Keep them pinned down. I'm on my way.
We could break out.
Yeah, I know. Take a few good coppers with us.
Good coppers?
Well, there's got to be some good coppers out there. They're only following orders. There's plenty of witnesses.
What are you doing?
Gonna give myself up. We've had enough.
Here! Over here!
They're good. Like the real thing.
They are the real thing.
Cuff them.
Who got them? Me, sir. Well done. They were armed, eh?
Yes, sir, but they gave themselves up. Do you want me to take them down the station?
No, my car. I'm taking them in.
Hey, now, hold on. You're not leaving us with him.
My car.
Look, those ideas are genuine. Genuine!
That's all they have on them?
Well, those and the guns.
Nothing else? No bag of any kind?
No, sir. Sir, don't you think we should...
You did well.
You must be out of your mind.
Yes, I considered that as one line of defence. Right. Where'd you plant them? Photos, recordings. Where'd you leave them? Where?
Go to hell.
Where? Doesn't matter. We know where you went to. My boys will find it.
What do we do? Skid off the road? Have a fatal crash?
That's the idea. Oh, I was miraculously thrown clear.
Just what were we supposed to be doing on this road?
You told me about some stuff you'd planted out here. I'm a good copper. I had to check it, didn't I?
A good copper.
Now step away from the car, please, sir.
You bloody fool, get away from here! Forget what you've seen. I'm ordering you.
Roust a villain. Lean on him. You can order me to do that. But I'm not standing by and watching you commit murder.
Good copper. Told you there's always one.
It's Green. It's his idea.
Save it for the judge.
But remember what you said.
It was Chives. He took it upon himself. Overstepped his authority.
Chives was a runaway truck, careering downhill, running over the guilty and the innocent. A runaway truck. But you released the handbrake. George. The name is Cowley. Mr. Cowley. I don't know what we'll be able to make stick against you, Green, but I do know that whatever the outcome, you'll never have authority again. Not even to see kids across the road.
My motives, what I did, I thought was in the public interest.
Aye. That's a tragedy.
You know, they should put up a plaque.
What?
Well, you and that blonde got it together down the end there. Here for the first time, Raymond joined.
What do you mean first time? Well, I was nearly 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've said it before, and this time it's for keeps.
Let's get out of this lousy
Let's
city.
get out of this lousy.